Okay, Damien.
I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's central, fundamental to everything that they do. If you think of that back four as like a piston that just applies the pressure and allows the front six to go to work. The first 10 minutes against Lyon, the front six weren't quite as effective, and there was a lot of times Lyon players had their head up, ball out the feet, and they were able to slide those passes. But once they got into their stride, it's very difficult to play those passes when you have the amount of pressure on you that the Bayern team apply. Everything good from Bayern comes from the high line, and they're prepared to suffer the ball in behind because, you know, Neuer's starting position, you know, relieves an awful lot of that pressure, and the pace of Alphonso Davies to recover. And they're saying, you know what, so much good is going to come from this. 42 goals in 10 games, all comes from the high line. Niall's point that if they drop off 5 or 10 yards, you know, create a nice little pocket in front of the back four. So when the front six go to work, and they doesn't have to be clever, doesn't have to be good, but you can beat that press into those little pockets and it relieves the pressure, all right? As you think of Gnabry's goal, when the ball got clipped in, he takes his first touch inside, the back four is deep, there's a huge pocket there. If the Bayern back four is as high as what they are there, Gnabry's coming straight into a centre-back. They're willing to tolerate that. It's by design. I can't imagine a world where Hansi Flick comes in afterwards and says things like, geez, lads, that line was a bit high. Is that something we'd want to look at?
He's noticed.
Absolutely not. Like, I mean, he's saying, keep doing it. Because even if they score, I remember when Alaba scored the own goal, when Barca pegged him back to 1-1, he got up, he had a wry smile on his face. They're going to tolerate the fact they're going to ship the odd time they're going to get caught with it, and the odd time that they might even score the opposition, but they're willing to tolerate it because the greater good is squeeze the life. Like, just remember that the piston just pushes in and everything gets condensed in.
And do all of that back four have the pace, Boateng?
Well, look, if you're going to pick a weak link, Boateng might be the one, because he's pushing on a little bit now. He's not as quick as Alaba, Davis and Kimmich. I mean, them three are the quickest, three quickest, as quick as you're going to get in Europe. So that's why they can deal with it.
And to pick up on a point you made, and so Niall is saying there are times maybe where you might just be better served easing off a touch. You said if that front six, the Bayern front six, are not putting pressure on the ball, and we saw there Lyon had players at time to get up, and the quality of PSG and Champions League players, they'll put good balls through. So at those moments, surely if the front six are not pressing and there's a bit of time and space for PSG players, at that moment even you must want that Bayern back four to just come off the throttle a touch.
Absolutely not. I think the message there is, you guys get the front six, get yourselves into gear, because my back four are doing what I'm asking them to do. You know, if you're not doing your job, we're not dropping off, because then the whole thing falls apart.
Okay.
My back four are doing exactly what I asked you to do. You guys go to work.
So on Sunday, if a goal happens in that way, you won't be blaming the back four, you'll be blaming the front six.
Absolutely not. And even if, sorry, Niall, even if they do get a goal, I think Bayern, no problem. Because we know we're going to run up 3 or 4.
But the thing about it was, Lyon, who I don't think are world beaters and flattered themselves in some respects to get as far as they did, should have scored 3 goals. They were 3 gift goals that they didn't score. And my point is that if you put Di Maria, but more so Neymar and Mbappe in those positions where they're going through, they will do better when it comes to finishing the goals.
Absolutely.
And if Lyon can carve out 3 glorious ones, and Neuer made 1 excellent save, hit the post to Kembe. With a player like a Kembe, who Cameroon international, he's a sprinter. His ability isn't what these other guys are. You know, they've got far more in the locker to punish Bayern with, and I think it's the talking point of the tie, the tactics of the tie.
The Kembe chance that hits the post, the mistake isn't the high line there. The mistake is Alphonso Davies not dealing with it when he gets back. They're saying high, but when it goes in behind, you're quick enough to get back. They know he's going to get back. The mistake was he made a hash of the clearance. If he deals with that, it's not talked about. The Memphis one is a big one. But that is a difficult ball. It's very, very difficult to drop a ball. That window of where the 2 centre-backs are on the edge of the centre circle and Neuer 10 yards outside his box, it's a small window. It's got to be a well-timed run and a phenomenally good ball. And if the front 6 are working the way they should work, as I said to you, heads won't be up, balls won't be out their feet, and they won't be able to clip them. And
the other benefit is there's no pockets. If they're pushed up, Neymar doesn't have pockets to fall into. That's the reason they're doing it.
Hey, listen, Thomas Tuchel right now, or in the back of his mind, would have been formulating something. He will have a plan for this, and he will see the weakness, because it is a weakness, but it's also the greatest strength. But you can exploit that weakness, and I'm sure Thomas Tuchel will have that in his back pocket.